Hey, you want to see something cool?
Funny.
Charming.
Magical.
It's nuts.
More beautiful than you can imagine.
Handsome. Can I say Antonio Banderas?
I've always loved Shrek fairy tale world.
Puss in Boots, he's always a larger-than-life character.
Fear me if you dare.
He's the hero.
His world is just a fun place to spend a lot of time in.
Papa! He stepped on my face!
And we will never wash it again.
We love comedy, but we also love the drama, the heaviness of moments.
And remember, Puss, death comes for us all.
What's great about the fairy tales is each fairy tale is a perfect little movie.
Fear me if you dare.
Can we make this more sophisticated? Can we show this in a way we haven't shown before?
Being able to get the team back together, I was all in.
Working on this movie and the Shrek universe is a little intimidating.
Relax, I am Puss in Boots.
People have grown up with Shrek.
I love the Shrek films.
I'm such a fan of the original, like Shrek, Puss in Boots. That world was like my childhood.
When I'm really lazy on a Sunday, I go back to the original Shreks.
Specifically, those first few movies I remember seeing when I was younger.
Hey, look, a little cat.
Puss in Boots was one of those characters that everybody was talking about. It really got into the heart of many people for many years.
Good night.
That responsibility, that weight of reintroducing the audience to that world has been really exciting.
We knew that the movie was going to be an evolution from the first one, but you come in and you don't really know exactly what's going to be the evolution or how are we going to be able to really affect that.
It seems like the right time to pick up Puss and throw him back to the big screen, the place where he belongs.
My beautiful beard. It is very distinguished, yes.
This time I think it's even better.
I have to give a lot of credit to the directors.
It's an ambitious story. It's a story about death, but on the flip side, about life. How do you make that fun? How do you make that accessible for all audiences?
A lot of those ideas came out of brainstorms.
We really became like a little writer's room.
You just bounce hundreds of ideas off.
They want to hear from everybody. What's working or what isn't working and why.
The dynamic is kind of nearly like going to the pub with a bunch of your friends, debating on top of each other, trying to come up with the funniest part, trying to one-up everyone else, but done in such a respectful, fun way.
Governor, light it up.
The bigger the challenge, the bigger the reward. And this movie has a lot of challenges inherently built into it.
We all remember those fairy tale illustrated books of our youth.
Every time I think about the fairy tale, I think about old pages, watercolor.
The goal was to create this movie the way you would imagine the pages of a fairy tale would come to life.
Our rule was it couldn't just be a gimmick. It couldn't just be, doesn't this look cool? But it all had to come back to story and where the character's going.
For them to try to figure out what blends in with this painterly storybook style, they had to do that during production as opposed to pre-production.
The amount of originality of the places where all these adventures take place are incredible.
Nate Ragg and his wonderful visual development team really led the look of this movie.
We were just constantly bouncing ideas off of each other, and we looked at old fairy tales, we looked at classic children's books that had sort of more of an artistic, painterly look to them, because that's how they were illustrated back then.
Part of the animation that's more related to the action parts, that's really inspired by Japanese animes, more 2D approach.
I was so excited to see the animation.
We use what's called stepped animation. You would hold an image for 2 frames, or 4 frames, or 3 frames. And what that does is allows you to see really cool poses that are a bit dramatized, and it gives you a sensation of almost a superhero.
I'm a huge animation nerd, so I was really excited about the stepped animation, harkening back to like the 2D animation days, trying to bring that sensibility into 3D animation, which is something I love.
But the things we geek out about, we'd be in reviews or dailies, and you'd see a still frame. Oh, it's a beautiful painting.
Who did that painting?
They'd press play, and it would start moving.
There are details of real acting captured by these cartoonists. It goes to a different level.
Hasta la muerte.
One of the things that we can do really, really well now is drive the computer to make far more artistic choices.
We didn't want the images to look as if they were traditionally rendered from a computer, but rather had a bit of an artist's paintbrush to them as well.
I think it brings a flavor to the film that's really cool.
Art is about interpretation. What's really cool about creating a movie that leans on impression, you can connect emotions, I think, in a stronger way. When Puss gets cut for the first time, we purposefully kept reds out of the scene before the wolf cuts him. Then in this stylized way, as soon as he's cut, we go to a slow-mo image, and right behind it, it's just red. And it has this impact of, you feel that cut.
It's a breathtaking thing to behold.
I think all of those things add up to create such a special experience.
It's elevated storytelling, both visually and emotionally. I hope this is our intention.
We spend so many years making these movies, but it's not complete until you have a sonic representation of that.
Hey, this is a party. Where's the music?
A lot of beauty, energy, passion. No, you guys are great, great.
Heitor Pereira was our composer.
Besides being an amazing composer, he was Hans Zimmer's guitarist for like years. He knows his way around the fretboard and the strings.
The fables where these characters come from existed through generations and generations, so that's why I say, think big.
Sometimes Heitor's beats were so lively and so fun and so fast.
Flamenco, shoes, stomps.
It was actually hard for dancers to stomp that fast. So Heitor built this platform that was wood. He had the percussion players put flamenco shoes on their hands and went. Everything that Heitor does, he finds a creative way to solve.
And this is a sound that I always heard inside my head. Thank you, Puss in Boots. I will finally bring to reality and give it to you.
I'm really excited for audiences to be able to experience the full kind of package of this movie.
We get Puss in Boots, again, with the cute, adorable eyes and those amazing knee-high boots.
You just get more of that action and that adventure.
When you just bring them back, it's almost like okay, we're fine. Puss is here.
It's the first time I've done animation.
He was having fun since the first take to the last one.
We poured a lot of joy into the making of it, into the messages that we were trying to say, and I just hope it rings true for people.
It's that generation now has kids, and they want their kids to meet these characters, and so to be able to introduce Puss in Boots to this new generation, I'm so happy to be a part of this film.
Oh, now you've made me cry. No matter what age you are, this is a movie that you're going to enjoy and that you can enjoy with your entire family.
It's so nostalgic, and to be here is so surreal. I'm still pinching myself.
You enter into it in this fantastical fairy tale world where you laugh and go, this is funny, and then maybe start to reflect.
What does it mean to live a meaningful life? What does it mean to appreciate life?
And by the end of the story, have this feeling of joy about the one life we've been gifted.
The legend will never die. Relax! I am Puss in Boots! I laugh at death!
So, there's this guy, I think he's an influencer on YouTube, Antonio Banderas.
You know what? You guys are jerks! Just very conflicting for me. I'll find my own way out.
Not only is the most generous and genuine person, he also knows Puss in Boots way better than anyone else.
Let me be clear. I don't want to touch your belly, okay?
Okie doke. Antonio has been playing this character for over 20 years.
Giving them your voice session after session, you're totally free to just establish a rhythm in which you're saying your lines.
Do you mind trying to eat here? I mean, meow, whatever.
He sings, he dances, he's charming, he's ridiculous. All those things come from Antonio.
There's no other voice like Antonio Banderas' voice. It's the polar opposite of this voice.
This must be the dark forest.
You can go in volumes, you can just touch a number of things and you just get an agreement with the director and different creators when you are doing it.
You've really got to work on your bedside manner.
When we're recording, Antonio has a way of, he doesn't even say Puss wouldn't say this. He just performs it in a way that Puss would.
I am Puss in Boots. I am no one's lap cat.
But then when you start receiving the results, I was in awe of the subtleness, the little expressions that they were able to capture out of whatever I gave them.
I need to get my lives back. Without them, I am not...
What? The legend?
When you see their voices and how they perform for their characters, it's just nothing but a joy, you know.
Kitty, one life spent with you is all that I could wish for.
Yeah, so it was a beautiful experience just to do it too.
Get home safely. Good night. This is stupid.
All I smell is bullshit.
I can't see anyone else that could go toe-to-toe with Puss in Boots.
Puss?
Kitty?
Puss.
Kitty.
Kitty Softpaws.
I love my character, and I was so excited to have the possibility to be her again.
When we left that movie, they looked like a team. They looked like a partnership. And when we pick up on this movie, that is absolutely not the case.
What is this? Are you a pirate now? Shh. We definitely have problems with each other.
There's some sour milk, one would say.
Well, there's no way I'm letting you hold the map.
There's a fun playfulness between Kitty and Puss when they come across each other.
She is sassier, bossier.
It's essentially watching two exes have to be stuck together on a mission.
May I please see the map?
No.
Seriously? You won't let me hold it for even 1 minute?
Nope. Not even for 1 second. They were very welcoming to ideas and lines.
The charm, the comedy that Selma brings is amazing.
Always a great collaboration. We always laughed a lot.
Her instincts are so great.
Don't you cross me, or your name will be Cerro Muerto.
I'm like, okay, that's perfect. Let's go to the next one. And Selma's like, no.
For a dark forest, this place is pretty colorful. I wish I had my quinceañera here.
She'll find the extra funny.
It was really lovely for me to put that extra layer into it. They got my jokes. They got my jokes.
She's presenting a whole new character that's way more defined than what I was presenting.
Why are you so ridiculous, though? What's your story? It was so much fun. I'm gonna miss it. I'm missing it already.
What are you doing here?
I brought you a sword.
That's not a sword. That's a stick.
It's a stick sword.
In this gritty spaghetti western, we thought it'd be great to introduce a character who is a ray of sunshine.
The heart of the film.
And that is Perrito, AKA the dog with no name.
Me? I don't have a name or a home.
He is dressed up like a cat just to fit in and feel like he's part of something.
Perrito looks at life through a different lens, through an oversized eyeball lens.
The sidekick that Puss never wanted.
I just come up here for the food and the friends.
Very annoying to him, but very funny to audiences.
And I think we need that sometimes in our life when things get really dark. Even though it might annoy you to have someone be optimistic, we need that extra positive energy.
Speaking from one orphan to another, Goldie, you won the orphan lottery.
He's the only main character who doesn't want the wish.
And all he really wants is just companionship and friends.
Oh, I wish I had a family like this.
Harvey Guillén brings so much comedy to this character, but he also brings so much heart.
Oh, I was just buying some time for a team friendship.
I always put a little bit of myself into all the characters that I play. I really enjoy diving into the idea of this positive energy all the time.
If you meet Harvey, he is just the sweetest, kindest, funniest person. So it was easy to get into the role of Perrito with him. You know, early on, Perrito was very chatty. He constantly talked. And Harvey discovered that in order to really tap into who Perrito was, he cares about others, and so he listens.
He's so naturally, charming when he's not trying. Sometimes you don't need to try to just be your authentic cuteness.
Let's talk.
I'd rather eat.
I'm more of a bear than you are.
She got you.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears crime family.
Who in our version are kind of like a Cockney smash and grab gang.
They're like outlaws and bounty hunters in their own right.
Hello, missus. We're looking for a cat. This cat.
The bears have made her into this incredible, kind of like gangster's daughter, basically.
Florence was instrumental in the process of finding Goldie.
It looks like me. It's feisty, grumpy little sassy thing with a bow staff. She is the runaway with the circus type.
You have a girl who grows up with bears.
They are neatly tied together by this other person who's joined their family.
She's like, when I was a teenager, I swear I thought I belonged to another family. Because you have that kind of rebellious streak.
Having grown up in a very opinionated and loud family, it became very easy for me to be like, ooh, what if she would say this?
Nowhere to go, Softpaws.
But then mentioned, when she got to a certain age, reflecting and appreciating her family. That was something that really we tapped into with Florence.
You can kind of just pluck pieces from your own life, and it worked. It was lovely. It was a great experience.
Just give us the map.
And throw in 12 points.
Eh? Ooh, have you got any savoury pies?
As her bear family, we have Ray Winstone's Papa Bear, Olivia Colman as Mama Bear, and up-and-comer fantastic actor Samson K.O. as Baby Bear.
Hello, honey.
In this movie, they're a crime family, so they go around stealing. They're quite threatening, but really funny in the same vein. And that's what I really love. That's what kind of brought me to wanting to do it.
I hold the map. You got it? Okay.
Goldie and Baby, they're always at each other's head. Underneath all of that, you can see that there's love there,
Boy, don't get so blubbery about it.
At first, when you go in, you're like, okay, just need to make sure I don't mess it up. Joe and Manuel are just like, hey, man, just do whatever you want to do. And I'm like, all right, let's have a go then. So, it was really nice to be able to be free and explore those characters with them in the room.
You don't tell me what to do.
Listen to your sister, baby.
Oh, she's not my sister.
We had to find the perfect mama bear. Olivia Colman is amazing. Something that Olivia brought, this is genuine point of view of a mother's love.
Look, Goldie, porridge. And it's made just the way you like it.
Whether it's your biological kid or not, she loves Baby Bear and Goldie Bear just the same.
The day a little orphan girl broke into our cabin and stole our hearts. The day when our world became just right.
The honesty that Olivia brought was just so wonderful.
Give her the piano treatment, Papa.
Them cats stole a map we stole, and we ended up with diddly squat. Nothing.
Ray Winston.
I have the King of Cockney playing my father.
You shouldn't have done that, mate.
Ray was just so excited to be a part of the project.
She is your sister. Do as she says.
He is the epitome of the rough, tough gangster.
Make her talk.
Olivia found out that Ray was gonna be Papa Bear. She's like, I'm married to Ray.
To bring their powerhouse thespian chops to our roles is amazing.
Now, what say we all go home and hibernate?
I pronounce this batch delicious.
Jack Horner. He's really a lesser-known nursery rhyme.
And those who know it don't like it. It's not a good nursery rhyme. It's only a nursery rhyme.
And that really is his issue.
Make with the box! And he was tired of being little Jack Horner, and now he's big Jack Horner. He has a chip on his shoulder.
Little Jack's dead. I'm Big Jack Horner. He runs a pie business. No surprise there. But he's also a collector of magical items. I will finally be the master of all magic. He's kind of a psychopath. I like people that are that delusional.
They really captured this grotesque monster in this human body.
He has that look of gout, that sort of post-Thanksgiving look.
What a good boy am I.
John Mulaney has been amazing to work with.
All right, magical locust. Defoliate, fly, and feast. Eat those flowers.
I know what it's like to think like Jack Horner. I'd never say it out loud.
He was able to turn that honesty and depth into such comedy with Jack Horner.
I'm not really stressing about the manpower.
I've got a bottomless bag of magic weapons.
The best moments were when they felt like an audience that I was performing in front of, and they felt like they were treating me almost like a co-writer.
The biggest challenge with John is he gives you gold and so much of it that you just can't put it all in.
Pretty boss flamethrower, right?
I hate him for that. John, that's right. Because it makes it so hard to edit down a scene and make it short when you're so funny.
Hey.
Well, you know what they say. Can't bake a pie without losing a dozen men. Oh.
Puss discovers there's a dark side to being the most wanted cat in all the land. There's a bounty hunter after him. He is mean. He is scary. He is the white wolf.
I never do this, but can I get your autograph? Been following you for a long time.
First of all, it's really cool to play one of the greatest villains in the fairy tale universe. I remember when I was a kid, I had like lots of nightmares with the wolf. It was an issue in my life. It's been very therapeutic for me.
With Wagner Moura playing the wolf, he's found such a unique angle that he's not just a generic villain.
I just love the smell of fear.
To kill this legendary hero as reward of his own. It's very simple, but very heavy, you know?
Yeah, he's just doing his job, you know? It's like, and it's a very important job. What the world would be without the concept of death.
Puss in Boots laughs in the face of death.
We have to know that there is a time frame to live, and we have to do the best we can to value what's really important. You know, these guys, Joel and Januel, they have this thing that I really love, which is to have fun, to play. I see my kids playing, I go like, oh, we can never lose this.
Slow!
They see you doing something, and you can see in their faces like, yeah, do it again, and then do this. We were discovering the whole thing together.
Live your life, Puss in Boots.
You know, I never had much growing up.
I didn't have a fairy godmother, and I sure didn't live in no shoe. I lived in a mansion with my parents. This guy's greatest wish is to be a real boy. What's impressive? I've been a boy the whole time. And you're more impressed by him? Yeah! Why are you all slouching like a bunch of butter stirrers? What's this guy's hook? He's not a puppet? I don't have any strings, and I don't brag about it. I don't even have the map, Little Dumb Riding Hood, Little Red Riding Muffet, or whatever your name is. It's not a granny bag. It's a magic nanny bag for boys.
Your dog's dumb, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
You porridge in bed tester, middle bed preferer, you room temp porridge preferring girl. Back straight. Don't arch your back. Man, their backs suck.
These are weak lumbars. Guys need an MRI.
Man, they were bad at being a bridge. That was just one tank. Imagine if it'd been a bus with families on it. Those jerks, you home invader, you bear house trespasser. Oh, well, do you think, friend? Flick time. What did I do to deserve this? Was it the murdering? That'd be number one, right? But I stole too.
You know what I had? The lamest nursery rhyme and plum pies aplenty. And I'll tell you this, plum pie is one of the lesser pies. Feel like I got awful vulnerable with you. I ought to kill you so you don't tell anyone.
Hi, I'm Joel Crawford. Director, that was my line. I'll fight you with this cat. That's not what that says. Hi, I'm Joel Crawford, director of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
And I'm Januel Mercado, co-director of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
And today, we're gonna be showing you how to draw some of our favorite characters from our film.
Let's get started.
Ready? 1, 2, after you.
Wait, what? So now, I'm gonna show you how to draw Puss in Boots.
Fear me if you dare.
He's got this big ego. He's a legend. He's a larger-than-life character and does heroic stances. And so I think I might put something like that. I like to start out with a circle for his head. And if you're trying to kind of keep the proportions of him, I usually will go the length of 2.5 of his heads. And that's giving me the general height. I'm gonna draw some lines that will essentially be where his legs will be pointing. You see that? So it's almost like a little triangle that's going back up to his head. And then what we're gonna do is start to put in some triangles for the feet. Then, oh, I feel a cute cat under me. Fun fact, on the movie, the whole time we had them around for inspiration, just around the office, everywhere. All right, so I draw a little bit of a half circle right there. Got a sword, points out there. This time his face is kind of pointing what we call 3/4 away. He's looking up proudly, and so I'm drawing these crosshairs to see where his face is angled. Now I'm gonna draw his hat, which is kind of this shape. What we do next, we're gonna draw these shapes for the eyes right here. And then we're going to draw where his eyes are looking. Simple shapes right there. And then he's got this little mouth. So we're drawing a circle right there. If you look at his nose, it almost looks like a little heart shape. So I like drawing, it can be a triangle to simplify. Now, we're gonna draw the bottom of his mouth. So there we go, we got a little confident smirk on him. And we're gonna draw his chin right down there. A little line that connects his nose to his mouth. And then we're gonna draw his whiskers. He kind of almost has, his whiskers, if you look at them, they almost look like a little mustache.
What? What's funny?
Now I think we need his eyebrows. So one's down or maybe one's up. Something you'll find when you draw, you sometimes do the expression yourself while you're drawing. That means you're feeling the character. Now he's got his belt right here. I'm just draw 2 lines. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fill in his arm. And then a little half circle is where his paw, it's like he's sitting like that. Now we're gonna add a little bit more detail to his boots. So I'm gonna draw these almost like little rectangles. And then one tall rectangle, because he wears high heel boots. Sometimes there's wrinkles in the boots, makes him feel a little bit more natural. We're gonna go ahead and give a little bit more detail to that sword. This is the handle of the sword. And then this is the point. And then we're gonna add his cape. Yeah, he's gotta have a heroic cape.
Do you know a good place to get some gazpacho?
Just draw a little bit of a curve there. And the last thing that is missing in this would be the feather. This is just a couple squiggles and a line down the middle so it can feel like a feather. He kind of has these calico lines on him, even though I'm not doing color here. You can see where his orange and black fur is, and other areas are his white fur. And there you have it, Puss in Boots.
Get home safely. Good night.
Next, we're going to do Kitty Softpaws.
Softpaws. Kitty Softpaws.
There's music in a name like that.
Kitty Softpaws.
This is Puss in Boots' partner in crime.
May I please see the map?
No.
I like to start with the circle for the head, measure out 3 circles for body, and same thing, she's just as confident, if not more confident than Puss, so I'd like to give her, again, that curve for one side of the body and another line for the other. Folded arm on the right side, a line for a sword arm on the left side. And now that we have her whole body, we could start with her face, make her different from Puss, you know, beautiful female cat. I'd like to put her features a little lower on the circle. Start with actually her triangle nose there, just to kind of indicate where you have her lower features. And then instead of circles for eyes, I like to actually draw like these diamond almond shape for her eyes. And then I give her the big circle pupils, just like Puss.
Those eyes are even bigger than yours.
And also give her a confident expression, like so. And let's not forget that cat mouth, that little W for the muzzle. I like to give her kind of this cool eyeshadow, darker line on top, and a couple lines for eyelashes. And then just give her a little more shape. I like to add this kind of C-shaped line at her muzzle there. And then we'll use triangles for her ears. Nice big ears. And now that we have her basic head shape, again, we could start giving her all the accessories to make her, you know, the adventurous cat we know. So we'll start with putting a line halfway through her body, give that almond shape for her belt buckle, and another line here to complete her belt. So her sword is a little different from Puss's, kind of like a triangle shape for the cut part.
It's running time! Ah!
Give her sword a couple of lines for the point, and then rectangles for the tops of her boots, little triangles for her feet. And you can cut into these shapes to like make a heel, and then give her a little swirl for her tail. And then that's all the blocked in shapes for Kitty. And then again, you could add details if you want to add angle to her head, make her more cat-like. I like to kind of add an outline to make characters pop a little bit more. A little tuft of hair. Just give easy shading around. And she has a white tip tail. And then also like to color her boots. And that is Kitty Softpaws.
Nice catching up with you.
Where are you going?
You're still here? You want me to show you one more character? All right, Perrito.
I live under the porch. It can get a little lonely down there. It's mostly controlled by the rats and the centipedes, but I have my own little corner.
Perrito is this sweet little dog.
Oh, thank you.
And he has a little beanie that makes him look like he's a cat.
Full disclosure, I'm not a cat. I'm a dog.
Because he's got a big old head, I start with a big old circle. And don't worry about drawing a perfect circle. As you can see, mine isn't. I'm gonna draw a little line down the middle that's indicating where the middle of his face is. Perrito is gonna have a, what's happening behind me? Mischievous little cats. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put two big old triangles sticking out the side. He's incognito.
You don't look like a cat.
And then draw a line right there at the top of the forehead. Now we've got kind of where the beanie is. The next thing we're gonna do is place his eyes. Make the eyes these big circles. He's got this little, like, almost like a little pig snout. So you can kind of put a little oval right there. He always has like a smile, what we call asymmetrical. So what I'm gonna do here is let that smile just keep rising up there. I've drawn two lines, one for the top of his mouth and one for the bottom. He always has his mouth open. I'm gonna draw a U shape for a tongue. Maybe a little tooth going there. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw big old pupils, the black part of his eye, right there, staring at you. When you smile, your eyelids go up. But because he's smiling crooked, only one eyelid is gonna go up. So I'm gonna put a little line right there. Okay. And now he needs his nostrils. Remember he has a little pig snout?
Stop and smell the roses.
Seriously?
He doesn't have a long neck. So we're just gonna draw a couple lines under here. And what I'm gonna do is draw two ovals for his paws. Nice paw there, a nice paw there. This is getting fun because you can see the shape of it, but we can kind of put in some extra details now. So almost to these little triangles connected to the edge of the circle. That's gonna be his fur. I'm gonna speak up because I gotta talk over a cat that's scratching behind me. All right, we got little button eyes, literal buttons like I have on my shirt here that have been sewed onto a beanie. And then there's one more little button that he tried to make look like a nose of a cat. He's a clever dog. He used some pieces of string to make it look like the whiskers of the cat. So I'm gonna just draw a couple lines out to the side right there. I'm gonna go back. So one of the nice things when you're drawing is to get the general shape in and then to go and add details over it. I'm gonna go and color in his big old pupils.
Trust me!
And when light hits the eye, there's a little gleam, a little highlight. So you can just draw a little oval, one on the left there you could see, right? There you go. And then I'm gonna just make this line around his eye a little bit thicker because it's kind of like where his eyelashes are. We can shade in the inside of the mouth. Aw, you hear that? And then I like to add a little bit of shade on the nose right here. And done. There you go. That is my drawing of Perrito.
Believe in yourself.
The cats you've seen today were all brought to us by Heaven on Earth Cat Rescue.
They're dedicated to finding permanent homes for as many rescue cats as they can.
Organizations like this can be found all over the world.
So if you're looking to adopt a cute little cat like this, check out the rescue centers near you.
Because every little puss and kitty deserves a forever home. Thanks for watching, and we hope you've had fun learning how to draw with us.
Every hero needs a sidekick, even I.
I'm Puss's best friend.
No, he isn't.
And his therapy dog.
Definitely not. I'm going to show you how to make your very own.
Cute! Cuteness overload!
You will need cardstock or thick paper, scissors, a glue stick, colored pencils, a felt tip pen or marker, a pencil, and a ruler. Step 1. On one piece of card or paper, measure and mark 2.5 inches from the bottom on both sides and draw a line to join them up. Then measure another 2.5 inches from one corner and along the line on the same side. Draw another line to join them up, creating a square. Carefully cut out the square you created. This will be your template for the next step. Step 2. Take another piece of card or paper and a felt tip pen. Draw around the square template. Do this twice more, so you have a line of 3 joined up squares. Next, draw 2 more squares extending up from the middle square. Step 3. Now we need to add the flaps. And his little feet. And don't forget his tail. For the next step, I'm going to hand you over to a good friend of mine.
Hi, I'm Joel Crawford, director of Puss Boots: The Last Wish, and I'm going to show you how to draw Perrito.
Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
So we're going to start out with the face. Have his eyes right there in the middle. Big eyes.
Trust me!
There's his pupils. What you can do is stop almost, it's like you're drawing a C that almost closes up. Because what we're going to do is put a little gleam of light in the center. Right underneath the eyes, we're gonna draw a wide nose. We're almost gonna draw a box shape for his mouth. The next step is his little smile, his muzzle. Connect this, draw a line from his nose to his mouth, and then we're gonna draw his mouth coming down there. Now it's time for the tongue. All goofy-like, there we go. And then, this is a fun thing. One of his little snaggletooths always sticking up.
You're funny.
We're gonna go ahead and draw like a triangle right there from the bottom of the mouth. Draw the rest of his face. He has these rings around his eyes, some of his unique markings. We're gonna draw a line coming up, and then we're gonna do a line coming up on the other side, and then go ahead and bring that line back down. It's gonna be the brown circle around his eyes. The leftover space here, what we're gonna do is, he has a little sweater. It's really a sock that he lives in.
I grew into it.
So we're gonna draw the connection point from his neck down to the arms. We have the ears, the line comes over, and then we're gonna draw his ears coming up. Draw a line. This is almost like a collar that he's wearing that comes around. You're gonna draw it all the way to the top there, and it's gonna be connecting all the way under. So you picture it going all the way around his head, and then we're gonna draw a little line like that. We're gonna draw some of the other markings. We're gonna draw a line. You're gonna go a third of the way over and draw like a curved line that goes from the top to the bottom. And you're gonna do the same on the other side, top to bottom. Shade the pupils in, and then once you get done with the pupils, shade in the nose. And then one more little detail before you put this down, the inside of his mouth. You can go ahead and shade that in as well. And I'd say you could pick up the brown. We're gonna do those circles around his eyes. Make sure it's not the inside of his eye, because there's some different lines there. There we go. We're gonna then go to his ears. And I like to put a little color in the middle of the ear, right there. His little muzzle area has gray in it. We're gonna go down here to the feet, and we're gonna just draw a little line with the gray, and then draw 2 lines in between that, and that's gonna be his toes. Pick back up the brown. Now we've got some coloring to do. So we're basically gonna shade in a lot of big areas. You just need that pink for the tongue at the bottom there. Color in the tail brown. Now we're gonna need blue. I'm gonna start with the eyes. Make sure you stay out of the brown area. And then we're gonna go to the collar. Almost done. He has these little gray spots right above his head. They're kind of these rectangles that go vertically, horizontally, diagonally. They all just go a little something like that. So I've got an idea. Check it out. They're the googly eyes. We're gonna try and paste these over the eyes we drew. It's already looking wacky. Ready? There he is.
Me, I don't have a name or a home.
Step 5. Using scissors, very carefully cut out the template. You might want to ask a grown-up to help you with this. I am a master with a blade, but sometimes even I need a little help too. Be extra careful around the flaps and feet. Do not forget his tail. And very carefully cut around his ears. Once you've made all 3 cuts, it is time to fold. Make sure to fold along the lines because you are going to make a cube.
That sounds wonderful.
Again, be careful around his little doggy ears. Don't forget to fold the flaps. And lastly, the end of his tail. Step 6. It is time to glue. Apply the glue stick to the flaps and firmly join them to the edges to create your cube. And last but not least, glue on his tail. There you have it, your very own paper Perrito.
Well, my home is where my friends are.
Hi, I'm Joel Crawford, the director of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
And I'm Januel Mercado, co-director of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
And today we're gonna share with you some deleted scenes from the movie. Now in the movie, sometimes you need to cut out scenes that just don't quite work.
And it's not because they're not good or not funny. A lot of times they are very funny.
But they're just not the right puzzle piece in the big picture. But what's great is we keep them, we don't delete them.
Fortunately, they find a new home here in these special features.
This first scene we'd like to share with you. This scene was intended to show how both Puss and Kitty will manipulate each other to try and get what they want, and more importantly, manipulate the innocent dog who's the holder of the map. And I think you'll find it's a very sophisticated approach, very highbrow, and maybe that was the problem. We call this scene the peeing scene.
Enjoy.
You know, for a dark forest, this place has a very rich color palette.
Okay, Perro, let's take a look at that map.
It's been a long road trip. I gotta go wee-wee.
I do have to go wee-wee.
I'm a little cheap but short and stout. This is my handle. This...
Ah! Hey, Perro, what say you, me, and the map teach kitty, eh?
Ooh, what a relief, huh, fellas? Hey, dog, what say you, me, and the map teach Puss?
Hey, kitty. What did you say to him?
Nothing. What did you say to him?
Chit-chat, small talk. What, you don't trust me?
No, I don't. Not the least little smidgen.
Come on, kitty. Trust me.
Every movie should have a montage.
And we cut one out.
The purpose of the scene was to set up the rules of the forest. The forest is magical and will prevent whoever doesn't hold the map from getting to the wishing star. Fortunately for Puss and Kitty and Dog, they have the map and the forest lets them just casually stroll through.
Another cool thing about this particular scene is that there's actually a lot of early ideas that were found in the scene that we expanded into individual scenes in the final film of the movie. Kind of planted the seed for better sequences. Dog trying to learn the big guys, a moment with the characters on a romantic gondola type ride that became its own sequence in the final version of the film too.
So we hope you enjoy what we call the love and death montage.
This is going to be a gauntlet of pain and death.
This is going to be fun and easy.
Am I doing it?
Bring the tank.
Whee! This is fun! Sometimes we delete scenes because we make big story changes. In what you're about to see, we had tried something where Puss in Boots had earned Kitty Softpaws' trust and Perrito's trust. And while they're sleeping, he snuck away with a map.
With the rules of the map, whoever holds it has a specific path. And Dog's path is the only easy one. So now that Puss has stolen it, you'll see here the tough obstacles that appear before him.
It just felt wrong that he straight up just snuck away and stole it. You're like, I don't know if I like that guy. In this scene, we also see Perrito challenge Puss and really kind of tell Puss he's better than this. That evolved into something really wonderful in the end version as well. And so these ideas always, I think, become the best version of themselves in the final cut. There's still something I love about this sequence because Puss had this horrible path. Every icon on the map was a horrible location. And the last one he would have to go through was Wall o' Snakes, which he doesn't even know what that means, but he sure finds out in this scene called The Wall o' Snakes.
Come on. All right, wallow snakes. How could I forget?
I can't believe it. You're actually stealing the map?
Pero, go back to camp.
No.
Shoo! Go on, go get the stick.
Puss, I'm not a legend or a hero / outlaw or anything amazing like that. But stealing that map, that's wrong.
She wants to share her private island with you.
No, she wants to share it with Puss in Boots. Kitty Softpaws is an extraordinary cat. She deserves a legend. And without those lives, Pero, I am no legend. I am not Puss in Boots. I'm a Pickles.
Tell her the truth. Give her a chance. Puss, this is wrong.
Maybe it is wrong. But I will have 9 lives to make it up to her. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to climb this very literal and terrifying wallow snakes. You know, on second thought, Pero, you've convinced me.
I'm so happy you've come to your senses. I think this is a really bad idea.
No, Pero, it is a very good idea.